At the beginning of most relationships, it's very rosy. Everything is exciting, interesting. The couple is very happy and they get along a lot. But there are certain mistakes that people make in relationships without realizing they are doing that. Today, I'm here to talk about the biggest relationship mistakes we make without realizing it or without knowing we are making such mistakes. If you're interested in knowing what these mistakes are, then watch this video. The first mistake I'll talk about is expecting our partners to read our minds. We do that a lot. Most often, we don't say when there's a problem. We don't talk about it, or we don't tell them when there's a problem. We expect them to read our minds. Sometimes we often say, if he really loves me, or if she truly loves me, then she would know why I'm upset, or she would know I'm upset. Thinking love means they should just know how we feel. And that's not right. An example is maybe you've had a rough day and your partner just hasn't checked in. Instead of you to say, I've had a rough day, can I have a hug? You rather shut down and expect your partner to know that you've had a rough day. They won't know. So if they don't notice, then the resentment builds up. Love isn't telepathy. It is actually communication. So if you really love somebody and you want the relationship to work, the best thing you should do is to communicate how you feel. Let them know exactly how you feel. If you've had a rough day and you want a hug, just tell your partner, I've had a rough day and I need a hug. And I'm sure they will do that. Don't expect them to know that you've had a rough day. That is a mistake that we make in relationships, and that's bad. Clear communications prevent unnecessary conflicts. So if you're not ready to have conflicts in your relationship or you're avoiding them, then it's better. The second biggest mistake I want to talk about is confusing attention as affection. Maybe at the beginning of your relationship, the constant check-ins, the constant texting, the constant callings make you feel like your partner is really in love with you. So when the check-ins or the constant texts or messages or calls slow down, you feel like the love is falling apart, or you feel like you guys are drifting apart. Because of that, you overlook the emotional support and emotional consistency that your partner is giving to you. And to be honest, true affection shows in the support, the effort, and how they show up for you. It's not in the frequency of messages they send to you. True love is in actions and not just the attention. The third biggest mistake we make is comparing our relationship to others. No two relationship is the same. Even twins are not the same. All fingers are not the same. So every relationship differs. You maybe scroll on social media, scroll on Instagram, you see a couple traveling, having fun, buying gifts for themselves, and you suddenly wonder why your relationship is not like that. And to be honest, social media is not a real place. People don't really post their reality. It's just beautiful reels that they've joined together and they're sharing with their subscribers or their followers. So social media isn't a real place, and it's not a place to compare your relationship. And this comparison blinds you in seeing the beautiful moments in your relationship. Maybe you might not be traveling, but you're sharing beautiful moments that you would remember or will last for a long time. Maybe your partner is not traveling the world with you or buying you the expensive gifts, but the little support that they give you means so much, and that should be very valuable. Every couple has a unique rhythm. So what works for couple A won't work for couple B. So if you see certain things in one couple, don't expect your relationship to also be like that, because every couple have their unique rhythm. And comparison steals a lot of gratitude and joy. So whilst you should be grateful, the moments that you have to be grateful and enjoy your relationship, you would waste all those times comparing your relationship to other relationships, and you will never be happy. The fourth biggest mistake I want to talk about is not maintaining your individuality. No matter what, you are individual people before you became a couple. So each of you should maintain their individuality. Some people, the moment they start a relationship, they stop hanging out with their friends, they abandon their friends, they even forget that they had a life before their relationship. I'm not saying that still act single when you're in a relationship. That's not what I'm saying. But I'm saying that in as much as you're in a relationship, you should also still maintain your individuality. Do the things that you love to do. Meet up with your friends, have hobbies, personal hobbies, have things that you also enjoy alone. There's nothing wrong with that. People stop all these things when they have a relationship, and later they feel lost because they've been overly dependent on their partners. And that's very bad. A healthy relationship is two whole people choosing each other, not two half people merging their lives as one. So don't abandon your personal growth, your hobbies, or your friends. A stronger me makes a stronger us. So if you are both stronger individually, you will both be stronger as a couple. The fifth mistake I'll talk about is focusing more about being right than being calm. So in your relationship, every argument turns into a battle rather than a solution. You should both remember that it's both of you against the problem. Both of you are fighting against the problem. It's not against each other. Sometimes some arguments turn into courtroom debates. See, I told you, instead of I see where you're coming from. To be honest, you might win the fight, but you lose your closeness. You realize that you have won the fight, but then both of you are apart. You are not as close as you used to be. So kindness during conflict builds trust, and ego will rather tear it apart. Ego over empathy damages trust, but when we are soft in our argument, it builds a lot of intimacy. Try it. When there's an argument, when you are soft through your argument, you realize that both of you will understand where each of you are coming from. You agree or meet in a middle ground, and you realize that there's no conflict or there's no tension between the two of you. You rather get closer. The sixth mistake I want to talk about is taking love for granted. At the beginning of a relationship, you realize that thank you comes natural to you. Every little thing you're saying thank you to your partner, appreciating their little efforts. But over time, you stop noticing their little gestures, maybe making you coffee, driving you home, calling you when they are not busy, checking up on you. You overlook all those things. They don't mean anything to you again. Remember, love fades when it's not appreciated. Gratitude is the fuel that keeps the relationship alive. So be grateful. So most often, people forget to appreciate the little things that their partners do for them because they assume that they'll always be there. Trust me, they won't always be there when you're taking their love for granted. I hope this few points of mine helps you to know the biggest mistakes we make in our relationships. If you're making any of these mistakes, please change and do better. If somebody is doing this to you in your relationship, then you have to think twice about it. I hope this video helps you out there. It helps shape your relationship and helps you to be a better person in your relationship. If you're going through something like this or there are any other topics you want me to talk about, don't forget to comment down below. Don't forget to like this video, subscribe to this channel if you haven't subscribed. Turn on post notifications so that whenever I post a video like this, you'll be notified. Until we meet again in another video. Bye.